So going into game number 6, we want to win. If they really want to win, all they have to do is win one more game. Rebirth at a disadvantage here, having to win 2 to wrap up the series. So if we want to win, is able to win this, it will wrap it up. Otherwise, it will go to a game number 7. But going into Way Station, our players are going to be Zaz from We Want to Win Clan and Nahul from Rebirth. Going into the bio screens here, Nahul from Rebirth, he is the newest addition to Rebirth. He's an up and rising Zerg player. He rose from Platinum to Masters last season and has continued to actively move up the StarCraft 2 ladder. He is currently Master and plays Zerg. And his opponent representing We Want to Win Clan is Zaz. His name is Votek Pollock. 22 years old, overall win rate of 63%. If I'm butchering names, I apologize. I don't know how the little marquee things work. But that is going to lead us into game number 6, as we said, into Way Station. Joining me this evening once again is QXC. We thank you for taking the time to be the second guest caster for the StarCraft 2 Community Team League.
Thanks, man.
And we're
ready to go
right into game
it.
number 6 on Way Station. In the upper left-hand corner, representing Protoss, We Want to Win, and the color yellow, his name is Zaz.
Zaz. I like that name. Zaz. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the teal Zerg, Nahul. Nahula.
Nahul?
Nahul. Nahul.
Let's see, it's going to be South American Chilean, so I don't know my dialects well enough to put the emphasis on the correct syllable.
Yeah, right. Whatever. It might not even be a Spanish thing. You know, Koreans all use English words.
So this map has a very large opening into the natural expansion, with Zaz fully intends on walling off and expanding into, it appears.
It's like, I don't care what map it is, I'm doing this build, and you're gonna like it. Puts that pylon, you can see it's probably at least a gateway larger than most other naturals.
Well, I mean, the old school sort of Wings of Liberty type-esque play in this situation is to make the mini wall between your Nexus and the ramp there in such a situation, to force the Zerg to run around the back of your Nexus with cannons, I feel like, until you can get that going. But he's just saying, nope, I'm just gonna go all for it here. As the pool comes down, he's present in his base to see it. It is a 14 pool. 15 actually, considering the drone that went into it. And no, nothing out of Zaz here so far. He's just kind of stacking with the money, going Nexus first, balls to the wall. Even though he saw a 15 pool. And has a giant wall, or opening. This is interesting.
But it doesn't, I'm not sure he's really saving larva to try and punish that.
Hey, well, first of all, he doesn't know about it, but
that's true.
Yeah, as far as he knows, it could just be a gateway normally in the base. But I mean, just scouting with his incredibly slow overlords. But now he's putting Forge Gateway, working his way towards that wall,
and getting a relatively early gas. Probe does not see it. He's not. But whatever. The wall is almost done. Gateway Forge. Probe's just hanging out, maybe as a... I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he'll get a... Oh, he's getting a cannon. Okay. And soon he'll be getting the gases in his main, chrono boosting out more probes. And both players looking about even economically. Zerg player not making any lings besides those first 2 just to take the watchtowers. Does lose... Well, the probe will die. And that's not so good. Definitely always want to keep that probe on the map if you can.
Currently, Zaz is ahead in the probe count, and he is going to be on even bases with his opponent, so...
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
So how does...
Why is that hatchery so late?
Yeah.
Did it get... I guess the probe must have delayed it a lot.
I don't think it did. I wasn't watching, but I don't... the probe just kind of bypassed it as it was put down, because all you saw in its vision was the little bubble of it starting.
Did he go... Oh, no, it's because he went Nexus before Gateway and Forge. So it was like a super duper fast Nexus. and very risky. You can see he's got a huge
He's still got a giant hole there, and that Ling could actually walk its way right in there with zero contention and see whatever it wants to see.
I mean, the cannon would kill the Ling before it got
Oh yeah, there's a cannon there.
If he had just built like 6 to 10 Lings, he could have easily walked into the main of Zaz.
So honestly, what I like to see out of Protoss at this point is, I mean, you can assume that since Nahul has seen this now and he's seen the timing on the cybernetics core, that he knows fairly confidently what happens. You can assume that he's putting down this third base, which he has, is going for Robo, getting Warp Prism, and just putting a whole crap ton of Zealots at that third base.
And
comments, thoughts?
I don't. Sure, why not? I'm still wrapping my mind around the worker disparity right now.
That's 30 to 27 currently.
Yeah, and it's like in the wrong direction, and basically nothing happened. I think what it is Nahul got this really early gas, and he got early speed, but then it like is keeping him from droning, basically. Look, he's got 9 larvae. He's
getting his +1 carapace right off the bat, too, which he doesn't really even have that many units to utilize that on quite yet, but maybe a preemption for the eventual Zerglings. But his third base is finishing up. He does have queens at each and every base, starting to spread the creep across, but also Zaz heading across the map with a Stalker, a Zealot, and a Pylon.
Did you see the gateways?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of gateways. So I think we're going to see... he's actually not mining. He's only got 2 gas, so I think we're going to see a lot of Zealots and a few Stalkers here.
It's going to be a big amount of units here, and Nahul has...
This is very Wings of Liberty-esque right here from Zaz. This is definitely when you see that sending the Overlord across. Now he's going to see those.
Oh, he sees the gateways.
He sees those gateways, and they're being chrono boosted. So right now he's sort of shaking in his boots a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Nahul should be building as many Zerglings as possible, and it just doesn't have any units at all.
He has a Spore Crawler coming down. I'm not understanding that exactly, but 28 Zerglings on the way.
+1 carapace. +1 carapace would make a big difference here, negating that +1.
Oh wow, epic surround there with those Zerglings,
very nice surround. But he just doesn't have enough units. The +1 attack is making the Zealots so effective against the Zerglings, and at this point there's no way he's going to be able to make enough units to overcome this massive Zealot advantage that the Protoss player has.
But that Spore Crawler is distracting several Zealots there, so keeping them out of the fight, so that was fairly useful. But going to be chasing the drones around the Queen, guarding the Queen there as well, but the Pylon being taken out by the Zerglings, while Zaz just kind of has free reign of the natural here.
I guess when +1 carapace is done, so he's got at least that going for him. But
that's still a lot of like 1-to-1 Zealots to Zerglings.
Yeah, look at the army supply right now. Like it's more than double.
Oh, the Manor Force Field at the ramp to keep everything out. That makes no one's day happy right there.
Yeah.
That makes Zaz's day happy, but that's about it.
Putting himself in the mineral line here where the Zerglings can't even... You can't get a full surround. Even if you got a full surround, though, there's just too many units for Protoss.
Well, I mean, given the situation, why would you suspect that he went for such that early layer? +2 upgrades? I mean, that's a pretty early layer.
I am just going to go out on a limb and say that Nahul was doing some crazy thing that he had thought of that perhaps is not optimal.
Well, there are going to be a handful of Zerglings heading across the map, but the wall is 100% complete now with a cannon behind it, so they're not going to be able to get anything done. One very brave Zergling taking on 4 Zealots at the 7 o'clock position.
And right now it's just Lings here. Lings hanging out.
It almost looks like a base trade, only not. Oh, no. Nice force field. The ramp blocks in half of the Zerglings.
Spreading some creep. He's got 33 drones on his one base, going into an infestation pit, which is going to allow him to build swarm hosts.
Yep, swarm hosts in production. But I believe that Zaz does not have a Robo or a Stargate, so he does not have any detection, although one swarm host is typically not enough to fend off 30 Zealots.
Would be a very slow defense.
But the
All
Hero
right, here we
Swarm
go.
host is out. He needs a name as well,
Yeah.
so if anybody wants to give Hero Swarm host a name, the engagement is on.
And the Zergling's going to a surround, but the force field's hemming them out very nicely, and the Zealots are just going to be able to kill everything. 2 more Locusts will spawn in just a moment here, but I don't think they're going to make much of a difference. A couple force fields not letting the drones out. Oh, one Swarm host comes out.
Oh,
he had a short life. Unburrows the Swarm host. That one dies.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate there. That Swarm host just kind of giving up on itself, and the non-GG GG. So that is going to wrap it up for We Went to Win Clan. I mean, that was kind of a, honestly, ballsy play out of Zaz there. I mean, a lot of things can really wreck that down.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty big risk, but he went for it, he executed it well, and it worked out. He just crushed his opponent. Nahul looked lost when the Zealots appeared in his base.
Terribly, terribly lost. But so that is going to bring the score to 4-2 in favor of We Want to Win, which is going to wrap up the series as it is best of 7, going to a total of 6 games. So well played by both teams. This is going to wrap up the group stage games of SC2CTL. Starting next week, we will be covering the playoffs. But before we get too far, I want to draw a name for our giveaway. So MythLogic, in conjunction with Corsair, has put up some cool items to give away this season so far. We gave away a Corsair headset last week, and we're giving away a Corsair gaming mouse this week. If you go to sc2ctl.com/giveaway, and if someone wants to type that in chat to bring up all the cool information, you'll see exactly what it is. We gave away 2 codes this evening, and not going to give them away again because everyone should have got their entries in, and we're going to go ahead and make a drawing. So if we could have a drum roll, and the winner is going to be a individual that their email address starts out with andrewmartin89@something.com. So if you are andrewmartin89@something.com, you will receive an email from us shortly. You are the proud winner of a Corsair gaming mouse, courtesy of Corsair and MythLogic. Definitely go out to Twitter, follow at Corsair and at MythLogic. Give them a thank you. You will be getting that notification shortly. But if you didn't win, do not worry, because you're still in the running for the Corsair. I believe it's a micro. It's like a small form factor gaming mechanical keyboard. So that is definitely really awesome. The grand prize, so to speak, which we'll be giving away in the live final of Season 2 of SC2CTL, which the date will actually be announced here shortly. But that's going to be a wrap for today. QXC, our guest caster today, thank you so much for joining us. Now that we have a second, just really want to show some appreciation to QXC. Go out and follow him at COL_QXC if you don't already. I'm sure most everyone does, because who doesn't follow? But thanks for joining us and for your insights. And if you want to let anyone know anything, now's the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the broadcast today. It was a good set of games. And if you guys want to check me out on my stream, it's twitch.tv/coolqxc. And you can check out the Complexity Gaming YouTube channel for more instructional content from me, as well as some blog posts and other things like that that get posted through the Complexity website, complexitygaming.com. And just big thanks for having me on. And that's all.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. That's going to wrap up our broadcast for tonight. We will be back next Tuesday. Time not quite announced yet. We still have some things to figure out. But if you follow at SC2CTL on Twitter, also follow me at WingnutSC. We will be sending that out here shortly as soon as we know the match, as it is going to be playoff games. So we have to see who gets their matches in and what that will be. So if you follow those things, you will be kept abreast of all the good need-to-know information. But that is going to wrap it up. From me, I am WingnutSC, and with me is QXC. We thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you on, or at least I'll see you on Tuesday.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll talk to you.